brain! All hands on deck! It's time to finish this spiky zog!
I am no stranger to the deaths of planets. Cyrene was my home. Yet when the need was made evident, I did not hesitate to contact the Inquisition. By my hand, Cyrene burned. Cyrene's secrets now live solely with me, and so shall they die with me. Whether I'm victorious or slain, my sins will know retribution. Such is the final testimony of Gabriel Angelos, captain of the Blood Ravens, 3rd Company. Savior of Tartarus, bane of the Black Legion, servant of the Emperor.
Hey everyone, welcome to what is the final mission of Dawn of War 2 Retribution for the Ork campaign. I am still Niggeroth, here to try my best to guide you through a very difficult and very long mission for Dawn of War 2 Retribution. I have decided to take the liberty to speed up most of the fighting in this, as there are not really any new enemies here. It's mostly just the normal Chaos forces that we've been fighting for most of the game. And honestly, there is just a lot of walking, and they make sure to give you the best bang for your buck with this final mission here. Doesn't really bode well that you know, there's nothing new, there's no real challenges here. It's just a very exceedingly long level, so keep in mind that the current time right now is more or less cut in half because I ended up having to speed up about all of this outside of a few cinematics, but it's still good because, I mean, you have plenty of action going on, and I try my best to cover as much of it as possible, and you see that there, since this is the main center of Kyras' ascension, that there are plenty of Chaos forces around for the Orks to completely mash into gooey paste. One of the main problems I ended up having while I was doing this level was just the fact that, for some reason or another, Brickfist, the Storm Knob, still was not having much luck in the whole health department. He's supposed to be able to regenerate health pretty well due to some frenzy abilities, but still he was just getting ripped apart pretty consistently.
These many decades have been an honor, Gabriel. Commend my service to the Emperor.
Emperor keep you, librarian. I go now to redeem our chapter. Such are the ways of demons, to lie and mislead us. Destroying it is the only way to avoid its influences.
But yeah, since we haven't had very much interactions directly with the Blood Ravens in this game, I guess it should be prudent to explain a little bit about Gabriel Angelos, the captain of the Blood Ravens 3rd Company, which I think it said. Basically, in one of the earlier games, he, in an effort to destroy a demon, I think ended up unleashing another much larger demon, which ended up having to be taken care of in Chaos Rising, the first expansion. After that occurred, that particular company of Blood Ravens ended up having to be hunted down due to the machinations of the Blood Ravens chapter master Kyras, who ended up, as we found out in this game, was actually being controlled by the forces of chaos. So, the Blood Ravens, at least some of them, had to go a bit rogue to find out the truth and try to save the subsector and stop the ascension of Kyras.
So long as my towers of offerings are in place, I am unbeatable. Protect the offerings. My ascension is not yet complete.
And Kyras being nice enough to tell us directly the means to weaken him, which is just going around and destroying these 3 sacrificial towers, which, you know, even if we could reach him right now, he would pretty much be invulnerable to any of our attacks. So, you know, they're just a plot device. But still seems a bit weird that we could actually hear him say, "Oh, here are these magical towers. Please don't take them out. They'll allow you to beat me." So, going back to the story, a lot of this is obviously gone over in Dawn of War 2 and Dawn of War Chaos Rising. But in the end, it's supposed to be completely wrapped up here in this particular expansion. We'll be seeing in just a second how Gabriel Angelos actually fares against the demon itself, even though in all reality a lot of that was already shown in the opening cinematic and to a lesser degree in the prologue mission, which I happen to skip because it was having to explain things like, this is how you move, this is how you attack, and it was just kind of very... It was just kind of very unnecessary information. But yeah, we've taken down the first tower now, and you want to make sure to get away from the towers after you've destroyed them, because he'll fling meteors down on you if you're in the general vicinity, and they actually do hurt quite a bit. It actually, for the most part, looks like the artillery rocks that the Orks will throw when and if you have enough of their global currency, or their WA.
All the Blood Ravens! Reach your end, Gabriel. Now that was a proper smack! Boy! The second artist is gonna see today if you don't keep moving!
So there you go, Gabriel Angelos is dead. And I'm fairly certain that Jonah Orion, who was a Psyker introduced in Dawn of War 2 Chaos Rising, is dead as well. So, more or less, there goes the hope of the Blood Ravens for redeeming themselves, and honestly, in my opinion, it's good riddance. I never really liked the Blood Ravens to begin with. They don't make a lot of sense, and I understand that, they were actually a chapter that was created just for Dawn of War, and in an effort to fill them into the actual codexes of the 40k, some liberties were taken, and it just ends up becoming very stupid, because they're... Well, and the first thing is the fact that they're supposed to be a very Psyker-oriented chapter, and yet for most of the games, you don't really ever have Psykers to help you, which is a bit weird. Also, you don't really ever see a Psyker as a chapter master, just because, I don't know, they can kind of become corrupted, and when that happens, you get this, which is bad. Also, just a little bit more fluff that might have been revealed recently from Games Workshop is they didn't actually know who the Primarch or the leader of the Space Marine or this Blood Ravens chapter was, but it's kind of been alluded to that it might have been Magnus the Red, who was not one of the Primarchs that sided with the Emperor. So it's bad news. So that is 2 out of 3 towers down now. And you may be noticing that I have quite a bit of requisition. I actually have quite a bit of pop cap. This particular level actually is really trying to get you ready for the last boss, and for good reason. Well, we'll see in a bit that he is very much a last boss, to put it vaguely enough until we actually get to him. So I think once you've actually captured all the points and got all the pop cap up, you'll have like a population of 110 as opposed to most other missions, which border around 50 or 60. So technically we should be able to get a fairly large size WOG going, but you know, until we actually get to that point, we're still just doing our best to barrel through all these enemies, and you'll see plenty of rockets, plenty of little earthquakes going off. And honestly, like the shining force right now in all of the heroes is both Spookums with his grenades and rockets, and Mr. Nailbrain just throwing everything into a whirlwind of violence and death. Sadly, the sheer size and slowness of the captain himself makes it kind of difficult for him to really fully get into the fray. He does have a charge ability, but it still runs into the problem of the fact that if there are your own troops in front of you, he won't just like charge through them. So he mostly gets negated to the back, or having to, you know, just kind of weed out whatever enemies aren't immediately ripped apart by the barrage of rockets and grenades and, you know, earthquakes. But he's good whenever you actually get him up there, and so is Brickfist whenever you make sure to jump him into place. I do kind of wish that the cooldown was a little bit less on the jumping ability, but it's otherwise, I mean, it's already pretty powerful, so you know, it's kind of hard to argue with the fact that you already have a powerful ability, and I'm just wanting to make it, you know, even more powerful. But here we are at the very last tower. It's actually fairly well protected by 3 different garrisoned suppressing units, so it can actually be a bit of a difficulty if you don't have anything to deal with suppression.